Hey, so check this out. So today at the hardware store, we picked up a bunch of wooden stakes. We're gonna kind of put some stuff on them for Halloween, and we're gonna like stake them in the ground. You know, ever since I made the Dracula video, I kind of blanked on the word stakes when I was describing the thing that the characters were using to kill Dracula. Yeah, he takes the wood and just stabs him in the heart. I don't know why I didn't say stakes. And it wasn't until after I finished putting the video together where I was like, hey, they killed him with a stake. But I'm pretty sure everybody got the idea. I'm sure we all know what kills vampires nowadays. You know, at least we should. We gotta be prepared when the vampires rise up against us. Yep. If you thought this year was wild, you better be ready in 4 years from now. Let's start the video. Hello, welcome to the Wild Reviewer, and welcome to night 21 of 31 Wild Halloween Review Nights. Yesterday we talked about Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, with Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray... What's the other guy's name? Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson. Also, Annie Potts, Rick Moranis, Sigourney Weaver. Did I say that right? Sigourney Weaver. And I think those were all the main characters. Let's talk about its sequel today. Released in 1989, it's been 5 years since the events of the first movie, and Ghostbusters no longer exists. After multiple lawsuits, court orders, and a long cleanup from the marshmallow goop everywhere, that's not a real reason why, I just thought that'd be interesting to put down. They referenced it a lot in the film. The group breaks up and go off on different paths, but when Dana senses that freaky paranormal activity is happening around her child Oscar, and the guys discover strange slime in the sewers of New York, the Ghostbusters get back together to stop the resurrection of an ancient sorcerer looking to be alive once more. So the first Ghostbusters, I enjoyed it. I said that I wasn't somebody who loved it. I certainly don't hate it, but I like it. I enjoy watching it. I found the ending to be very entertaining with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and the one-liners and Bill Murray. I found it to be a very entertaining film. And then there's the sequel. I know I've said it before, but when it comes to sequels, sometimes the first one is always better. Where I'm getting at is the sequel was okay. A lot of people seem to crap on Ghostbusters 2 a lot. They don't think it holds up like the first one. And they're right. I never fully saw Ghostbusters 2 in its entirety. I always ended up catching the ending. This year, specifically for this project, was the first time I saw the film in its entirety. And some things still hold up from the first one that I talked about yesterday. I really enjoy watching the guys do work and acting all smart, hearing their plans. I enjoy that stuff. And there are some funny moments. I definitely had some laughs. I found myself laughing at more in this film than I did the first one, interestingly. The ending was different from how I thought the first ending was. I didn't get that many laughs. But if I gotta be honest, this film is also a bit darker than the first one in my opinion. Yeah, it was definitely different. I felt I was like, alright, that was a thing. That was a movie. The one thing that I can't wrap my head around, the ending apparently takes place on New Year's Eve, which does not look like New Year's Eve at all. Like, you have some people wearing New Year hats, and they got the noisemakers, you know, they sing the New Year song. Oh, I don't know the name on the top of my head, but I know the song, so I'm just going to put the name of it down here. I don't ever recall them saying it's New Year's Eve. It doesn't look like it's New Year's Eve. We never hear any of the characters, aside from Lewis at the end, who wishes somebody a Happy New Year. Like, we don't get any clarification that it is New Year's. It just so happens to be New Year's Eve. Like, you think people would have plans. I'm pretty sure Dana and Peter's date that was in the film, I'm pretty sure that was the same night where afterwards Peter goes to the mayor's office with the other guys. They talk about the pink slime. Then they get put into the nut house. Then they're taken out of the nut house. And they go save the day. I'm pretty sure that's all in one night. I don't think it's clarified that it's a different day at the end of the film. I'm pretty sure it's all in the same day. And if that's the case, they were able to have dinner on New Year's Eve. Nobody looked like they were going to celebrate New Year's Eve.
I'm very confused!
There's a big painting in the film which is haunted by this sorcerer. At one point the guys check it out, and Ray's looking directly at the painting's eyes, and I guess he gets possessed, because at the end of the film for I don't know, 10 seconds, maybe even less than that, he just kind of turns against the others. But it's okay because they squirt the slime-like stuff on Ray to fix him, so everything's okay. I feel like they had some potential doing a story where one of the Ghostbusters became evil, and they were probably going to do it in this film, but it just didn't happen. It was forgotten about. I also feel like a lot of the things in this film could easily been done in the first movie because it just kind of fits. Seeing them get put in straitjackets and thrown away, I think those would have been great scenes to show in the first movie, because at least in the first one you can get away with the argument of, oh, there's no such things as ghosts, and then when you have that big ending scene with New York City in danger, well then that proves that there's ghosts. In the second movie, clearly people know ghosts are real. Ghostbusters have made a name for themselves. They've all mostly experienced it. If they were in New York at the time when the Stay Puft Marshmallow guy came and invaded and popped right in front of everybody, there was proof in the first movie that ghosts were real. We still never get told where these ghosts are coming from and why they're around. They're just there. And people know that they were real. So the idea of having the Ghostbusters kind of seem like fakes or posers in not just a small group of people's eyes, but everybody's eyes. Even the mayor at one point in this film, he just seems like he doesn't want to deal with the Ghostbusters crap, and yet he was on their side in the first film. I think putting them in straitjackets and locking them up in this film kind of comes out of nowhere, specifically since it comes right after they're saying that they found a bunch of pink slime in the sewers of New York. And the mayor doesn't do that. It's the mayor's assistant that does that. But you lock them up because they claim that they found pink slime in the sewers, which they also brought to a courthouse, and people in that courthouse, including the judge, witnessed that stuff going off and a ghost invasion. You'd lock them up for that. Meanwhile, 5 years ago, and even in that courthouse scene, you believed there were ghosts and you relied on these people to save the day. Do I not understand this film? Am I making sense? I don't know. I guess because it's a sequel and it's trying to be as best as the first one was. I don't know if they were trying to top themselves or do something extravagant with this story. It's an interesting concept, the pink slime, even another major ghost invasion. That's cool. That's all fine, and I do like the idea that something did happen within that gap between the first movie and this one. I don't mind that bit at all. I just kind of feel like this film was all over the place. I didn't have as much fun watching it as I did when I saw the first one. I enjoyed things in this film, don't get me wrong on that. I really laughed when Egon and Ray were in Oscar's bedroom, seeing if this child has any connection to paranormal stuff. And they're talking, Ray's like, oh, you never had any of this stuff as a kid, Egon? And he's like, oh, I had a slinky, but I straightened it. That made me laugh a lot. This film does have its entertaining moments, but if I had to compare with the first one, I'd say I enjoyed the first one a little more. I felt like this one was trying to do more, but it did so much that it just kind of ended up confusing not just myself, but it seems like a lot of other people. I heard that this is not a favorite of many Ghostbuster fans, not to the extent where they would exile it like that. But, it's a film. It's a sequel. It made money. It kind of entertained us a little, but it also really wasn't needed. I would have been fine if there wasn't a second Ghostbusters. Whatever the case is, that is Ghostbusters 2. Overall final thoughts? It was I watch it. I'm not bothered when I watch it. It's not the best, but it's okay. What about you, though? Do you like Ghostbusters 2? Have you ever seen Ghostbusters 2? If you had to choose, which Ghostbusters do you enjoy the most? The first one or the second one? I might know the answer. Do you agree or disagree with anything that I said in this video? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, let me know if you've seen that other Ghostbusters film. You know, the female one? Yeah, tell me if you've seen that one. Is it bad? I'm sure it's bad. It didn't do very well, I heard. And that's all I gotta say about the Ghostbusters film. If there's one last thing I have to say about it, though, well, there's two things. One, I think everybody in the films did an absolute great job. I praise the actors who did these films. I really like their performances. But if there's anything else I gotta say about it, I'm very excited for that new Ghostbusters film that's coming out, Ghostbusters Afterlife, I believe it's called. I saw the trailer with Paul Rudd. I think it looks really cool. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's all I got for night 21 of 31 Wild Halloween Review Nights. Come back tomorrow for night 22 when we talk about more ghosts. Specifically, a young little ghost who's just trying to live his life. And he has to keep being reminded that he's a ghost. Poor little ghost boy. Thanks for watching The Wild Review. I'm The Wild Reviewer, and you just saw me review a thing.